Is it normal to lean Republican as you get older? Absolutely. They say that there's an old saying, my buddy told me this. If a kid is conservative when he's young, he has no heart. If a kid is not conservative, or if a man is not conservative by the time he gets older, he has no brain. So the thought is like a young Republican has no heart, but an old liberal has no brain. So I think it's totally natural as men evolve and you learn how taxes work, the world works, like reality. I think it's totally normal to become more Republican, more conservative. But the issue is not the values that they claim to stand for. The issue is like being able to see it. The easiest example I could use is like a contract, right? I've been doing, people don't know this if you don't watch like all my streams, because I don't usually talk about it till like way later in the stream, but I've been involved in like music stuff since I was 19. I had contracts from multiple people, big distributors. I think, I forget the record labels, to be honest. Like, I don't want to misquote it, but I've had contracts my whole life. They're always telling me these stuff, right? Oh, we like this, we like that. We want to do this and that. But the truth is like, it's not what they say to your face, it's what they write in the contract. If you sign a contract that says they take 50% of all your stuff, but they told you they were going to give you millions of dollars, but it doesn't say that in the contract, what they tell you doesn't matter. It's what you sign. It's the same thing with a politician. What Trump says or what Biden says, it doesn't matter. Like, he could go on stage and be like, "Ooga, blah, 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 blah. I love black people, blah, blah, blah. I love Asians. I love Hispanics, I love the Mexicans. I love Christians, and la, 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 la. You're all going to be rich and the economy's great." Like, that does all that, like them talking on stage literally like does very little. I mean, unless they're leading a movement or something, but what did they sign? If they say America will never be a socialist, sorry, that was a goofy example, but I'm just trying to be funny. If they say America will never be a socialist nation, but then they do socialism, it doesn't matter that they said it will never be a socialist nation. It's current, like during COVID, it's like it was all socialist lockdowns, Operation Warp Speed, like people in the Republican Party, they literally, and I sound like I'm being rude now, but I'm just being honest and awesome. They reward people that are stupid. Like, I'm too smart, I'm too honest, I'm too ethical. So they don't want to give me positions. They're looking for someone that's half as funny as me, half as charming as me, half as smart as me, half as honest as me. That's an airhead that's easier to control with money, fame, and social circles. The last contract I was offered, they're trying to lowball me and treat me like shit and talk to me like I'm a fucking loser because they want a fucking loser. You know what I'm saying? They want somebody who has nothing that they could take away from them at any time so they can control them. If you have 1 billion views, millions of followers, and you have your own income and you don't need their money, they actually don't like it. Like, they're talking to me like I'm a crackhead in the street, like I need something, and that they're the only ones who know cool people and stuff. It's like they're talking to me like sideways because it's like a test to see, like, is he fake enough to play ball? And if you're not, they just throw you to the curb and get some airhead who's like a, Walmart version of you. So that's what all these news organizations are doing, because they want people there that don't talk about this stuff, like someone that's just going to sit there and be like, America is never a socialist nation. It's like, and then I'll be like, well, Operation Warp Speed was socialist. And they're like, he didn't mandate it. Socialism doesn't say mandate. Like, that's not what it means. Like, socialism, I mean, it has a lot of meanings, but like, if you're locked in your house and Trump signs a bill that says that $18 billion of taxpayer money is going to the pharmaceutical industry to rush a product in which the government is shielding them from liability from side effects and injuries and deaths, and then the government buys their product by the hundreds of millions and they make the most profits they've ever made. Let's play a quiz, dummies. Not you guys. I'm talking about the conservative influencers. Is that capitalism? That's not capitalism. Capitalism is not the government funding and then buying the product that they funded and then shielded with government clauses from liability. That's not capitalism. That's not conservatism. That's socialism. That's borderline communism. That's what Trump did. But you don't get to be on these podcasts if you talk about this stuff. They want idiots. They want people that are like half as smart as me, that are ugly, that are just stupid and talentless, that just go there and be like, Trump, Trump, Trump. And then all the people are like, Trump, Trump, Trump. Like, it's all, and then they just get ad revenue, and then they gatekeep, and then they're like, oh, free speech matters. And then Republicans infringe on free speech. Notice who won't talk about this. Is Matt Walsh going to talk about the anti-First Amendment free speech bills? No, he'll just shill for the moon landing being real. Is are they going to have this discussion on PBD podcast? I don't know. I hope they do, but I don't see it. It's like, does anyone care about the First Amendment? It's pretty important. Trump sold it out. DeSantis sold it out. Noam sold it out. Youngkin sold it out. They're all passing anti-First Amendment speech laws. How come nobody's talking about it? No, they don't care. They all just collect money and hang out with each other and get each other sponsors and do speaking gigs and just yell basic phrases on a stage. Like, they don't want somebody that's going to like tell the truth to the kids. They want like Ted Cruz on stage doing like fart jokes. And people are like, I never realized how funny Ted Cruz is. Ted Cruz is funny if you've never seen a comedian in your life. Like, he's funnier than Adam Schiff, but like, if Ted Cruz is your comedian, you're a fucking loser. Excuse my language. It's like TPUSA events. Like, look how funny Ted Cruz is. No wonder why America hates conservatives. Like, you guys think yet they blacklist people like Owen Benjamin, who's actually funny. Is he edgy? Of course. But like, they're like, you can't laugh at him, but you should laugh at Ted Cruz. Like, I'll laugh at Ted Cruz for other reasons because he sells out the Constitution and wants to make Africa gay. Like, what? Like, but I'm not like, he's not like a funny guy. He gets up there and he's like, let's go, Brandon. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, let's go, Brandon. It's like, and he'll be like, oh, Ron DeSantis wears small shoes. And people are like, oh, yeah. It's like, Ted Cruz didn't make that joke. He like repurposed everyone else's jokes and just like reads other people's jokes in a dumber way. I'm just so tired of it all. Someone says he unfortunately loves Trump. It's not about loving Trump. It's about loving money and social circles and sponsors. These people are not stupid. Do you guys realize how much money there is to not talk about these topics? I probably could make more if I really wanted to, which I don't, so I don't care. If I really wanted to, like, if my number one, sorry, I got big lips, so sometimes they're chapped. I apologize. Anyway, if my number one goal was like business and money, I could probably make more money from donors than I've ever made doing news analysis. Like, they'll just hand you money. Like, you guys think this isn't happening? It's absolutely. Here's $7 million to push our foreign policy. Here's a sponsorship of $500,000 with these people. All you have to do is look at the Bud Light situation. It's like they all were protesting Bud Light until the donors met with Donald Trump. Bud Light paid the UFC and Dana White hundreds of millions of dollars. Dana White's in the commercials now. Dana White talks to Kid Rock. Trump talks to Kid Rock. And everybody backs off it because they took the money. I mean, that's a small microcosm, but the same thing happens in every situation. You think if someone came to these people and said, here's $10 million to never talk about the speech laws, or here's $1 million. I'm not saying that's happening exactly, but there's huge donors in the Republican Party. There's huge sponsors. And a lot of these people are running a business, They want to own half of my social media. They tell me that they think I'm one of the best reporters, but as soon as they can't own half of my social media, they won't even answer my text and have me on the podcast. So it's like, these people never respected me anyway. It's like, if you could respect me enough to almost hire me, you could respect me to have a 30-minute conversation, but they don't want to have that conversation. They just want to make money. Like, it's just a big money grab. Republican media is just sucking money out of naive boomers while they're still here and just milking them dry, which is a great business model if you hate America and hate people here. But if you actually like the country and like the First Amendment, then it's kind of a shitty thing to do. But all you have to do is point at the left and nobody even realizes that you're doing it. JK said thank you for the super chat. He says, you have everyone laughing at the firehouse, Ted Cruz running around making Africa gay. Thank you, JK. Shout out, fireman. We appreciate you. It's true, though. He says, oh, Austin, Texas is doing LGBTQ to the kids. And it's like, yeah, that's crazy. And then it'll be like, there's not enough sodomy going on in Africa. They're trying to outlaw it. It's like, so you want to make Africa gayer? Like, that's your job in Texas? You're a Texas senator and you're tweeting about how you want Uganda to be gayer? Like, it's hilarious. It's like, people think I'm like mad. It's like legitimately like pure comedy.